Part C, basic concepts and SQL queries. The first topic, C.1, web technology review, jQuery. Yeah. All right. First, use jQuery in our HTML files. Yeah. So we have two ways we can include jQuery in our HTML files. For the first one, you need to download. So you need to have a local copy. The file is not that big. Yeah, so if you want to do that, you put it in your web project. Make it available as your local copy. Yeah. Then you just include a line like this in your HTML file. Then you can use all the jQuery features. For the second way, most people actually use the second way, the CDN way, Content Delivery Network. That is, you do not need to download the jQuery to your local computer. You just download on the fly. When you need to use it, you provide a link. So actually, you put a link like this in your HTML file, then your web browser will download it from this location for you automatically. Yeah, okay, yeah. So then it stays in the buffer, yeah? Because your web browser has some buffer. It stays in that buffer. Then when you visit other pages, that you need to use jQuery, you only need to download it once because it already stays in the buffer of your web browser. Yeah. So this way are more popular. Yeah. Here I also use this way. Yeah. Because here in all my examples, when I use this way, I do not need to require you to download your local copy, right? It's more convenient, okay? Yeah. So you just double click my example, you can see the result. You do not need to download anything, yeah? So this way is more convenient. All right. Then code conversion, yeah, here. Because remember last time I give you a JavaScript version of that drag and drop, right? Yeah, that's a completely plain JavaScript or regular JavaScript version. Yeah. And we can convert it to jQuery version. Yeah. So for example, if here I want to do this kind of conversion for you, yeah, then I change the original JavaScript version to the jQuery version. I just add a JQ to tell you this is a jQuery version at the end of the file name. Yeah. So then in that file, I need to include that CDN link. Yeah. So I can use the jQuery in that HTML file. Yeah. Then my JavaScript functions, I need to convert to the jQuery version. Yeah. So the drag and drop.js, I need to write to the, appropriate jQuery version. Okay, yeah. So after that, I need to modify in my drag and drop jq.html, I need to update the JavaScript file name, this JQ version. Yeah. Then after that, yeah. So, inside this file, I need to, change that file name. Yeah. After that, we need to convert internal, JavaScript functions, but we need to use the jQuery syntax to rewrite. Yeah. Right now I'm doing that, yeah, but still not quite yet ready yet. Yeah, still some technical problem I need to fix. Okay, so at this time I'm not ready. After I complete it, then I will upload this example, so you can study. Yeah. So for the same example, if we use jQuery to write it, yeah, what it looks like. Yeah. Through some simple examples, then so you try to get used to the jQuery syntax. Yeah. Next slide, let me start to give you a short introduction on jQuery syntax. Yeah. All right. Approach, the basic approach inside jQuery. You select, or you can call query, select HTML elements you want to work on. Okay, yeah, but you need to make selection first. HTML elements. Then you perform jQuery function actions on them. Actions means functions. jQuery functions. Okay, yeah. So that's the basic approach. Yeah. All right. So the syntax based on this idea, the basic syntax is dollar parenthesis. That's the special notation for the jQuery usage. So you tell the web browser here, I want to use the jQuery. Yeah, because this special symbol, dollar apparel parenthesis, you tells the web browser, go to the jQuery library, jQuery, JavaScript library, go there and find all the features you need and to do data processing work here. Yeah. That dot action, action name, function name. What function you want to do? What data processing function you want to do here? Yeah, that's the basic syntax. So simple, yeah. So you just use this way, yeah. But you need to get some experience, get used to this approach. Yeah. Here, I may like to explain the 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 background. Yeah. So here, in order to understand the mechanism of jQuery, so let me draw a simple diagram here. Okay. All right. Here, so this is this box. This is our web browser. And we use it as our client side programming environment. All right, yeah, the whole environment, okay, web browser, yeah. That environment. Many client-side technologies are executed in this environment. Yeah. All right. So this big box containing a lot of client-side technologies. And here we only focus on one of the technologies. So I draw a smaller box inside. So this is our JavaScript technology. Okay, yeah, so this box, smaller box, so there is a sub-environment inside that web browser, big umbrella environment. Yeah, so the JavaScript environment. Then inside the JavaScript, there is a another smaller one, jQuery. Technology inside the JavaScript environment. Another sub-technology inside. But the question is, when we write our JavaScript function, we can mix the code. We can mix the regular JavaScript way, jQuery syntax, we can mix them, okay? So this place, we use the regular JavaScript method. Another place, we like to use the jQuery syntax way, okay? You can mix them. But the question, how do you tell web browser? In this place, you use the JavaScript way. That place, you use the jQuery. It's simple. The special symbol, dollar, pair of parentheses. This special symbol, when the web browser see this, it will apply all jQuery features. Yeah. So here you can see this special notation. It has a special role. It has a special role. Yeah. Yeah. Some people call it a gateway. You can call it a gateway for jQuery sub-technology. Okay, the gateway. Through this gateway, you get into the whole jQuery technology. Yeah, so that kind of, structure behind the scene. And this idea actually is used in many other places, not just here. Yeah, for the server-side technology, Java. Yep. So this similar approach is also used inside the Java server-side technology. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So this kind of small background, so we can use to understand how jQuery works. All right. So this special $sign to access jQuery. Yeah. Then next, we need to look at each part. First, selector part to find HTML elements. Do the search or do the query in the whole HTML document. In that whole document, do the search. Okay, query. Yeah. All right. So then after that, after you select certain elements, then you apply that action part, the jQuery function part. Yeah. All right. Let's look at some simple examples here. Yeah. Here, the simple example, the first one, dollar parenthesis, this special keyword. Yeah. We know the meaning in Java, in C++, and in, even plain JavaScript or regular JavaScript. We use this keyword. Refer to the object of the current element. The current element we work on. Yeah. So dollar this dot hide function, the action, hide that whole selected element. It's gone because you hide it. It's gone. You cannot see it. It becomes invisible when you click that element. It disappears. Yeah. That's the meaning of the statement. The first example. All right. Hides the current element. Yeah. Later, next slide, I will show you a simple code example. Yeah. And that code example I will upload into the canvas. You can download, so then you can study the code and play around. Yeah. All right. Next example, dollar parenthesis, this time double quotes P. Inside the double quotes, we want to put the name of an element, P element. P, we know it's a tag name in HTML, paragraph, right? paragraph tag. So here we select all the P elements in this current document. Yeah. Then you hide. You call this function hide. So you hide all of them. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Third example, this time the selector, another different type, double quotes, dot test. This dot, we know inside CSS, this dot corresponds to class, right? How do you define a class in CSS? Dot class name. Dot class name. Then inside a pair of curly braces, you write the properties to define that class. Yeah. Here we want to select all the elements with this class. You apply the class on those elements. Okay, then the hide. Yeah, class equals double quotes test, the class name. Okay, that's the third case. Another case, not class, ID. Yeah, that sharp sign, that corresponds to ID in CSS. Sometimes you want to provide that element a unique name. So then use ID for unique name. Class, not unique. So usually we have many elements under the same class. No. But for ID, must be unique. Okay, yeah. So you use this here. You hide all those, only one. Yeah, because this time we expect only one element with ID equals double quotes test. If more than one, then your IDE would complain. Yeah, your IDE, some programming, helper tool would complain. Yeah, if it detects your ID is not unique, it would complain. Okay, yeah. All right. So that's these simple examples. Yeah. All right. So then next one, I want to show you a simple example. So I call it hide and show here. So we just do these two actions. One button, we hide the element. Second button, we show that selected element. Yeah. But I do it in two different ways. Regular Java way and jQuery way. You can do comparison. So we do the same thing in two different ways. Yeah. All right. So for the regular Java version, so how we do it. Here I explain the, general idea. After that, then I show you the simple demo quickly. Okay. Then I will upload this example so you can study. Yeah. All right. So then for the regular JavaScript version, we need to add this display property, style equals double quotes display property, colon block. Block is the display property value. When it takes this block value, this whole element is visible. Yeah. And this is the default case. If you do not do anything, this block value is the default case. Okay, so you can see that element. Yeah. But if you change this block value to none, it becomes visible. Change this display value from block to none value, it's invisible. Okay, yeah. All right. How do we change it? Yeah, in our JavaScript function, we use this way. Okay, yeah, so this long statement. So we select the element first. Yeah, so the ID of the element. Okay, ID, we use the ID of the element to select that particular element. Then we want to change its CSS property. So with dot style attribute, we want to access the property name display, and we want to assign it a different property value, none to it in this one. After you assign to this value, then that element becomes invisible. It's gone. Yeah. Okay. This is the regular JavaScript version. Okay. All right. Now, yeah. So then the show version. Yeah. Because we also want to click the show button to see it again. To see it again, very simple. We just change from non-value to block value. Becomes visible again. Yeah, so you see it again. Okay, so that's the regular JavaScript version. Okay, then the jQuery version, this time, yeah. First, because you have ID, right? Since you have ID, we use our selector, dollar parenthesis, double quotes, sharp sign, or hash, yeah, hash symbol, then the ID name, okay, dot hide. Yeah, it's gone, okay. If we want to make it visible, dot show, yeah, so you can see shorter, simpler, yeah, okay. But two ways. I like you know the both ways. I like you know the both ways. Yeah, because sometimes you may need, you know, one of the two versions. Yeah, both ways. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. So next, before I go to the next topic, I like to show you simple demo example. Yeah. So let's quickly run that simple demo. Yeah. So in my web browser here, yeah. So look at this one. Okay. I just use our penguin. Yeah. Side by side, okay. Left-hand side for the regular JavaScript version, right-hand side for the jQuery version. Yeah. Under each one, two buttons. Okay. JavaScript version, regular, hide it, it's gone. Okay. Regular show, come back again. Yeah. jQuery version, JQ hide, it's gone. JQ show. Yeah. Simple. Yeah. So this is the simple example. So let you quickly, you know, get used to the basic way to use jQuery. Yeah. At the same time, review the JavaScript functions. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's move to the next topic. Yeah. I haven't uploaded this example. So when I get home, so I will zip this file folder, then, you know, put it under that module 1 part C, so you can download. Yeah. All right. Now, let's go to the topic C.2, database concept. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. What is a database? Yeah. A collection of related data. Okay. Yeah. So when we start, we work on collection of related data. Yeah. So there is certain relationship Yeah, not random data. Yeah. So here you can see the important keyword related, because later we will study that relational database management system. Yeah. So the relation is very important. Yeah. All right. So we need to pay attention to that business background. Yeah. Closely connect to the business. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So every time when you work on your data, you need to consider the business requirements. Yeah. So the business understanding, that part is very important. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So with some business purpose, yeah. So when you create a project, yeah. So your project, so typically that project is used to support a special business. It's a business project. Okay. So in that project, you need to design appropriate database to store all your business data. Yeah. So here we in this kind of context, this kind of database context. Yeah. All right. Model aspects of reality. So then you need to do data representation, right? How do you represent your business world? To reflect your business closely, so you need to use some model. You need to, do some representation, appropriate representation in your data part. Yeah. So those model aspects of reality. Yeah. So next slide, we will look at a little more details. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Then we, at the beginning, the early stage of this your database life cycle. Yeah. So here we consider the database life cycle, right? So yeah, you need to create it. Yeah. First. Yeah. After you create it, then it is evolving. Yeah. Keeps changing. The database keeps changing. Yeah. So at the beginning, we need to change our database design frequently. Yeah. The reason is, at the beginning, you do not have a good understanding on your business. So you need to try very hard to understand your business. So at an early stage, understand the business is very important. Okay, very important. Yeah. Consider a typical situation. Suppose you are working in a company. You need to develop some software, some project for your customers. Some business customers, they want to spend a lot of money to make a web project to support their critical business in that situation. Yeah. Because it's their business, right? Supporting their business. You're not familiar with their business, right? At the beginning. Yeah. So you're not familiar with the details of their business. So at an early stage, so in your company, in your team, working on that particular project, you need to do a lot of communication with your customers' company try to understand the business requirements. So that step, it takes quite long for a good understanding, and you keep changing. Your database design keeps evolving your database. So modification, here, there. So the description, your early design may not be appropriate, okay? May not be quite right. Yeah. After you understand more business details, then you need to make a lot of modifications. So that's the typical case. Yeah, okay, yeah, all right. Then, yeah, here, now we pass the database design stage. Here, so yeah, that stage, suppose we pass it, so we get a pretty stable database. Now we need to run the business, okay? Yeah, so we get to that stage. We need to use this database to run the business, okay? Yeah, so at that time, here, yeah, so we want to consider our business data. We focus on the business data. How do we apply the operations on our business data? Okay, yeah. So the data should be organized in a friendly way to support those operations. The operations could be very complex. Could be very complex. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Because our business requirements could be very complex. Yeah. All right. All right. The first type, basic operation, retrieval, data retrieval operation. Yeah. Retrieve the data from your database. Yeah. And then actually this part, retrieval operation, this part, in this class, we will spend most of our time on this type of operations. Yeah. Data retrieval, because it could be very complicated. Yeah. For other type of operations, much easier. We do not need to spend a lot of time. Yeah. The second type, insertion. Insert new data into your database. So this part, not very complicated. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. After a few examples, yeah, so we can do all of them. Okay. Yeah. So data insertion operation. Then update. Later we feel, yeah, we need to change. We need to modify certain pieces of the business data. That part also straightforward. Yeah. So we do not need a lot of time to learn how to use those operations. Yeah. And the last type, deletion, yeah, pretty straightforward also. Yeah. So the last three, much easier. So we spend very little time, so we can understand quickly. But for that retrieval part, how do we do the retrieval? Because when you retrieve the data, we need to consider the business requirements. So we have, we need to consider many complex business requirements. Yeah. So you will see, some query statements for retrieval data, very hard, very complicated. Yeah. All right. Then, how to do these basic operations? Basic operations. Yeah. So we use a standard language called SQL. SQL, structured query language. Yeah. Yeah. So it's an old language, yeah, but still, currently, people rely on SQL to do their, data queries. And this language is industry standard. We call it industry standard. Okay? Yeah. That means every database vendor must adopt this industry standard. Otherwise, you cannot survive in the community, right? You cannot communicate with other people in the community. Okay, so industry standard. Yeah. For everyone in the community, what community? Yeah, what community? Here I need to emphasize. Emphasize this community relational. Database community, right? Relational database community. If for non-relational, it's possible, then the standard will be different, right? So not SQL, yep. All right, yeah. But this community is very big, very big. Yeah. All right, yeah. And later we will see through many examples. At the beginning, I give you some basic, easy query examples. Yeah. So we just get started. Yeah. After that, we will see more and more harder, complicated examples. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So all these things and new. Yeah. Later, I will use a few examples to explain these insertion, update, deletion. These three cases. Yeah. Insertion, I have a few points I need to explain. Although it's simple, but there are a few points you need to know. Yeah. And updates. Yeah. Then for deletion, because this question, you need to really pay attention for this one, because it could cause severe damage if you do it not in the correct way. So it's very important. Deletion. Think about when you delete certain pieces of data, at that time when you do the deletion, you may not be aware of the importance of the data, right? You feel it's all right to do the deletion, but later you realize the data is very important. How can you recover it? It's very hard. Very hard. How can you recover the deleted data? That is an important issue. So in your database design, you need to consider. So here, I raised up, some important point here. Yeah. So in your database design, at a design stage, you need to consider this issue. Because you may not know how your customers use the features, right? Yep. Think about it. Because you develop the whole web project for your customers. It's a big business. Okay? Yeah. the business operations could be very complicated. Okay, yeah. Then many users, they need to use the powerful operations on the business data. Now you need to think about, you put the deletion actions somewhere on the business data. Think about, if the data is critical, how to recover the data. Here, the issue, you need to consider this question, okay? Yeah. How to recover the critical data. If deleted, yeah, if deleted, yeah. Sometimes you can recover, right? Yeah, critical data. Some non-critical, then you may not worry, right? Yeah. Sometimes non-critical data, yeah, so you feel it's fine, but you may have some very important data pieces that your company, they need to spend a lot of time to acquire the data, right? Yeah. Data acquiring, sometimes it could be very expensive. It takes millions of dollars to acquire those precious data. So in that situation, you want to do the best protection on your data, right? You want to make your critical data recoverable when you do the database design. Here, I point this two different types of deletions you can do. One is the logical deletion, another is physical deletion. Yeah. From these two words, you can understand the difference of these two ways. For the physical deletion, after you make that deletion, it's gone forever. It's permanent. It's non-recoverable. Okay? Yeah. So that's the physical deletion. That means the data storage on your hard drive is gone. We know the permanent storage of the data is on the hard disk, on your computer, hard drive, hard disk. Yeah. The physical permanent deletion you remove from that hard drive, hard disk. And it's not recoverable. Okay? Yeah, it's not recoverable. Yeah. But for logical deletion, that means the physical storage of the data still there. You do not make the real deletion, okay? But you use some flag, you use some number, you use some value, variable value to denote this piece of data is deleted logically, okay? Not physically, logically, okay? Logically means when you show the content of the table, you do not show it, right? Because logically deleted, it's gone. Nobody can see it, right? Yeah, but it's recoverable, yeah? Because it stays in the hard drive, okay? When you want to recover it, you just flip the flag value, right? Change that special value, the number. Okay? You want to get it back, you change the value of one particular field. Okay? That field tells people, I want to treat this data piece as deleted, but now I want to recover it. Okay, flip it back. Yeah. So we can recover it. The cost is very low, right? So you flip it back, the cost is very low. Okay, yeah. So in your database design, many places you may need to consider this type of data protection for your critical data. Yeah. Otherwise, you will regret. You may need to spend millions of dollars again to reacquire that part of the data. That's disaster, right? Yeah, it's a lot of resource you waste. Yeah. So here, the point in this slide, actually, this is our first database slide. This one, just to tell you the importance in your database design, you need to consider many things carefully. Yeah. Many things carefully. Yeah. Later, we have a lot of places we need to talk about the database design related issues. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's move to the next topic. Yeah. All right. Here, the notation DBMS. Yeah. Later, we just call the database management system DBMS. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Database properties. Here, some terminologies in our discussion. One is the universe of discourse, UOD. Yeah. So although not many people use it, but this concept, just let you know this concept. Yeah. Because the database we create, we want to model certain business. Yeah. So that related business, that part, we use another word for it, mini world. Not the usual world, that's too big. Yeah. But for our business, we only want to focus on a very special part of the world. Yeah. So we don't want to do over representation of some non-related part of the world. Yeah. We only focus on the related part, related to our business, that mini world. Yeah. So, that's this, the same thing of this, yeah. Yeah, actually, universe of discourse. Yeah, yeah. So here, the minimal. Yeah. So for our project, yeah. All right, represents some aspect of the real world. Yeah, part of the real world. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. But when you do the representation, you want to ignore a lot of unrelated details. You want to make your representation as simple as possible, not over-represented, just adequate representation of your business related information. Yeah, yeah. But it could happen at the beginning, you feel, oh, this kind of representation already adequate based on our current understanding of the business. But later, when you get more and more understanding, you feel not adequate. No. So we need to represent other information. More, we need to add to our mini world some more business-related information. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that could happen. Yeah. Very natural. That could happen. Yeah. All right. Data representations directly reflect the states of the mini world. States here. The states. Yeah. because your data is dynamic. So here in our data understanding, we understand our data is not static. Okay, our data is dynamic. Okay, yeah. So we keep changing our data. Okay, yeah. All right. So here, yeah, to explain the states information, I may like to, use our later concept, table concept. Yeah. So we organize our data in many tables. Here, I only take one table. One table of data. So the table structure, it's a 2D structure. 2D structure. So you have rows and you have columns. Okay? Yeah. So you have rows. Rows we call the records. And you have columns. We call the fields. Okay? Yeah. All right. So in your database, in your table design, you specify the column data requirements, field data requirements. Yeah. Not the row, fields. Okay. Column, fields. Yeah. The row part, when you enter your data entries, okay, row by row, okay. Yeah. First row for the first entry, second row, and so on. First, yeah. So, yeah, because you want to describe one business object. So one row, you want to represent the state of one particular business object, one state of the object. Yeah. So the data values give you the details of the states that at the current state. Yeah. Then after a certain time, that state can change. Because we can modify our data. We modify certain pieces of that row, that state. So we change the state. Yeah. So that kind of, general understanding. Yeah. All right. Then coherent. Yeah. Yeah. Now we need to, so here, we need to connect the data to the business. Coherent. When we talk about this concept, coherent concept, you need to connect to the business. Yeah. You need to be familiar with the business. Then you can make sure your data is coherent. Yeah. All right. Logically coherent with some inherent meaning. Yeah. Because for a person who is not quite familiar with the business details, he or she may not know if the data is right or not. Okay? Yeah. Because the data could violate some business rule. There is some possible business rule violation if you're not familiar with the business. Yeah. If you just look at the data values, you do not know it's something is wrong there. Okay? Yeah. But when you are familiar with the business requirement, there is some violation in the business rule. You should avoid that. Yeah. So some special business meaning. Yeah. So this kind of consideration you need to be aware of. okay, in your database design. Yeah. Otherwise, you may have a lot of contradiction. You may have a lot of contradiction. Yep. Yep. So I heard a lot of complaints from my wife, yeah, because she's working in local Chinese school, teaching Chinese, teaching kids. And they need to maintain their business in a database. But she told me a lot of business rules are violated in their database design. Okay, a lot of places. Yeah, a lot of contradiction. Yeah, so that kind of thing. Yeah. Very critical in the business. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Support the business in the right way. Here we just talk about the general consideration. Yeah. But for the details, then you need to get to your business understanding part. Yeah. Yeah. But because we are aware of this problem, yeah, so later we will consider in our program, in our database related program. Yeah. So we need to think about under these situations, we have the right way to do the program. Okay. Yeah. All right. Specific purpose. Yeah. So definitely your database must have specific business purpose. Yeah. All right. So the meaning is provide valuable service for certain group. All right. Yeah. So for this whole class, with our textbook, we have two database examples. Yeah. Two examples. Okay. Yeah. So I will upload these two database scripts. So, yeah. All right. One is called university database. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, about the university, students, classes, sections, yeah, grades, yeah, that type of thing. Yeah. The second one is the company database. Yeah. For a certain company, yeah. So the typical things we need, we can see in a company. Yeah. The second one is our major database. So for all our database query examples, we use that second database, that company database. For all, yeah. So all my assignment, my query assignments. So because you need to work on a particular database. So you use that one, the company database, to write all your query statements. Same thing for our tests. Midterm, final, for those tests, you also work on that company database. All right. Yeah. That university, I may create our second project using this university database. Our second project. So you can do some basic operations on that university database. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. So I only have 10 minutes. Yeah. Let me move to the next topic, C.3. database management system. Yeah, so now this part. Management system, the software. Yeah. The previous topic, C.2, we talk about business data. The data part, it's not the software part. Here, that's the software package we use to manipulate the data. Manage, manipulate. All the operations we apply on our business data using this special software package. Yeah. All right. DBMS. What is a DBMS? A collection of programs managing databases. A collection of programs. A large collection of programs. You can imagine very large. Here, let me give you an idea. My idea. For MySQL, MySQL, this, the size of the software, several hundred megabytes. Several hundred megabytes. Okay, yeah. Hundred. Megabytes. Megabyte. Okay, all right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Something quite annoying, after I use this Zoom meeting, screen sharing thing, sometime it becomes very, handwriting very slow, lagging a lot. Yeah. I searched a web, many people have the same problem. All right. Then Oracle. Yeah. Oracle is another important DBMS industry. Very important, okay, industry. Oracle, the size, several gigabytes. Several gigabytes. GBs. The size of the software here. Here I'm talking about software, not business data. Yeah. Two different concepts. Because the business data, another thing, it could be very big, okay? Terabytes even is possible, right? The business data, okay? Huge business data. Here, the software size, okay? Yeah. So here you have an idea. How large is the software? Okay. All right. So the software provides an interface between databases and end users. Interface, you need to do communication. Okay? How to do communication? Through some interface. Yeah. Two types of interface. The first one, for us, we are programmers. For us, when we write programs to manipulate the business data, we need a programming interface. How do you call, how do you pass your database queries to the DBMS? You need some interface to do that. So that's one type. Another type, administration interface. Yeah. A group of people, they are database administrators, so their full-time job, they sit there, so they use another type of interface to do the database operations. No, DBA, those people, DBA people. Yeah. All right. All right. Manage. How do we manage the data? So when we talk about data operations, to manage the business data, so the basic operations, create a database first. You need to create first. So create. Read, retrieval. Read means retrieval. Yeah. Just get the appropriate part of the data in that huge database. Only get it, the meaningful part, okay, useful part. Yeah. All right. Update, then delete the data. Yeah. Okay. So here, update it. Yeah. Here you can see, if you recall to our previous slide, we talk about 4 basic database operations. What are those 4? Retrieval first, second insertion, update, deletion, and we also have 4 here. Can you see a little difference? We don't have create there, right? Yeah. So here we have the create thing here. All right. So we have retrieval, same thing. We have update. Here we don't have insertion, right? We have update, deletion, delete. We don't have insert. Don't worry. Insertion is included. Don't worry. This update covers both insertion and updates. Now, how about insertion? It covers, update covers. Okay, insertion and updates. Okay, it covers, yep. All right. Next, this DBMS is a general purpose software application, general purpose. So what do you mean general purpose? Okay, general purpose. It has nothing to do with your specific business. It's general, it's neutral, okay? In the DBMS itself, no special database related things is there. Yeah. It just apply on data. Okay. Yeah. Because those database vendor, DBMS vendor, let me call it DBMS vendor, those people, they do not understand. They do not know any other people's business. So in their product, they cannot consider anyone's business. So this is a general purpose software application, but you can apply it on all different kinds of different business applications. All right, yeah, so it's close to the end of the class. Yeah. All right, let me stop right here.